Oh, what's up guys, my name is JDCook5 and welcome back to the penultimate episode of Breaking Point. This is a huge part of the season now and this is make or break for Connor Sport. There's so many things that are unfolding with what's happening and there's so much to be talked about also. We're going to get straight into things, but before we do go straight into things, please do like, subscribe and hit the notification button so you never miss a video just like this and other content that we are putting on the channel. But yeah, let's get straight into it.
I did not like Aiden. Not at all.
Why not?
I thought he was immature about what happened in Baku. Like he never really got over it. He was aggressive on track and the paddock talks. He just wasn't happy at Connor Sport. Thought he was too good for the team. He just had a bit of an attitude problem.
It's already complicated. And I've told you they don't need to know.
Well, it's your call, of course. But the dishonesty makes me uncomfortable.
We'll talk about it later. Yes?
Let's make this quick.
Or maybe we could give Casper a bit of our time.
This wasn't scheduled.
What, are you too busy for us now?
Just tell them, Casper.
Andreo, please.
Can we get started?
Yeah, Aiden's got a meeting at Mercedes he needs to get to.
Enough! Enough! Okay? This is what we have to talk about. It has to stop. Understand? If we can't pull together now...
If we can't pull together, we are finished.
Wait, what does that mean?
Andreo...
It means that if we don't finish 5th or higher, Butler Global will pull funding. And I don't think we'll find an investor to replace him. Not now.
Wait, what? Casper?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, then we're finished. Andreo?
We're finished.
So yeah, Dad brought me onto the team and then immediately threatened to shut it down.
Why would he do that?
It's kind of his thing.
Okay, Callie, I'm sure you've got questions, but we think we know what we're doing here. We've got information that says more rain's coming, and so, because we're the first ones to come and make this change, we can turn it into an advantage. So on your out lap, let's make it all count.
Copy that.
Well, is the problem realistically Aiden Jackson after all? There's been so many things that you had previously with Devon Butler and now Callie Mayer coming out and saying that she never liked Aiden at all. Not a lot of forgiveness between the two, and they're definitely not two teammates that are well together. Things being said though, we've gone for a mad pit strategy and the rain has commenced in Austria. We was able to get on them before anyone was and they had to go in the pits themselves, allowing a lot of spaces being made up. We've got an objective to beat Alpine and Alfa Romeo, so anyone that is in front of us that is an Alpine or Alfa Romeo, we need to be beating. The bonus would be finishing in the top 5 also. We've made up a few places by just talking about these objectives, so we're going to go straight into things. Lap 10 of 18 commencing, lap 11 now being done, and we are on our way. Gasly in front of us, 1.3 seconds. He is one of our objectives, so he'd be the first Alpine to be able to kind of overtake, and I do believe there are other racers like Ocon, Bottas and probably Guo Hangzhou in front of us also, as we look to go up the hill on this newly renewed Austrian circuit, a really fast one at that also. We go really slow into the corner, but you build up a lot of speed on the exit, and up the hill we go as we see to look to try and pass Gasly. We are now 600th of a second behind him. We should be able to kind of meet on the next few corners as we look to go hard on into the brakes. He's really slow there with the wet weather. We have to be so careful that the back end or anything of the car doesn't fall out on us as we look to see if we can overtake Gasly now. We go to the switchback on the left hand side. We have the inside with the camber on our side and we are passing. We are through Pierre Gasly, and that is the first overtake that means something on this objective. Alexander Albon in front of us now as we look to try and overtake him also. 300 of a second, 200 of a second. We are much faster than that Williams car as we look to try and go wheel to wheel into this corner. Have to back off a little bit. We are late on the brakes though, and we glide through, and we are through into 11th place now, 1 place off the top spots in 10th. And then we look to see Guohan Zhou is going to be in 10th place also, so that'll be another Alfa Romeo and another objective. So we have done 1 Alpine and 1 Alfa Romeo if we look to overtake Guohan Zhou. Really like that bit of the track now, because if you are tight to that chicane, there isn't such of a hump on there. So you felt like on the F1 22 games, when you went over that corner, the car would raise. This time you actually just go through the corner really nicely. This part of the track is really nicer also, as we look to see if we can go wheel to wheel with Guohan Zhou, really wide into it. But I think we've maintained the spot with Guohan Zhou having to back out, a collision being made also, but we're not too fussed because we're not going to get penalised for it. And we are through now with Aiden Jackson, our teammate, in 9th place. 3.3 seconds is from us and him. We'll look to see if we can get past him without any kind of problems arising. We're now in the top 10 as our engineer says, and we haven't had the best of laps so far, but we are looking to go up the field now with Jackson in front of us. We're going to get DRS on Jackson also. He should allow us to move. As you can see, we are progressing much better than Jackson, but he is putting up a little bit of a fight as we go early on into the brakes, but so does he, and he allows us the spot as we look to go through the corner cleanly. And the next objective would be Ocon and Bottas, so if both of them are overtaken, then we will be completing the objective really easily, and we look to go and try and get these points and then look to the bonus as well. If we go into 7th place, then we're only 2 places off of going into 5th, and we can see if we can kind of put this car maybe even on a podium. Esteban Ocon going through the corner now, late on into the brakes. He blocks the actual kind of corner going into it, and we don't seem to be able to do anything there. But again, we go late onto the brakes, and he's trying to defend the corner really well, putting up such a good fight, but we are able to go through. Nice kind of talking from our engineer saying well done, as we look to see if we can get over Valtteri Bottas on this straight. DRS and not being able to have on here as we are in the rain, but we do get past him nicely, and we are through with Fernando Alonso, Verstappen. We've got a massive group ahead of us. Stroll, Norris. There is so many people in front of us as we look to see if we can now kind of make a mark in this Grand Prix. 4 laps left. There's not a lot that splits us whatsoever. Only a second between 3 places, I'm pretty sure. Not much of a fight behind me with Fernando Alonso behind, Verstappen behind, and now we are through. This is a brilliant bit of overtaking. There was such a battle between that group. We're into 4th place already, so we have got the top 5 spot as we look to see if we can even put this car on a podium. Lance Stroll ahead of us, and we are going through there as well. We are on such a charge as we look to see if our car is absolutely fine with this weather. Still being able to go on the wets, but I don't think there is enough time for us to even go onto a slick, even if we wanted to. Lap 14 of 18 to be able to nearly on the end of it, commencing onto lap 15 of 18. 4 second splits myself and Leclerc, and 5 seconds Perez. We've got 4 laps to make up as enough time as possible to even be able to be on the top step in Austria. As I say, I love this bit of the circuit as we go over that chicane that previously had a bump in it, and it doesn't say that it's dry enough yet for slicks, so I'm pretty sure with the 3 laps we will kind of work it out between us, and we should be able to go through. And yeah, this is shaping up to be a much better Grand Prix for Connor Sports. Say now lap 15 of 18, and we are gaining a massive gap on them now. It was 3.9 seconds, but as you can see going through the straights and completing the laps, lap 16 of 18 now. We are now only a second splitting myself and Leclerc, so we'll get a DRS point. And as you can see a little bit further on, Perez is in front, 1 second, 900th of a second now also. So we are now gaining massively. We bump into Leclerc, not meaning to whatsoever. DRS enabled now, so it is dry enough. Collision with Leclerc being noted. It is dry enough to be able to go onto the slicks, but I don't think it's worth it as there's only going to be 2 laps left. It's about 30 odd seconds for a pit stop. So when you weigh it up realistically, I don't think you'll actually make up enough time to be able to get past everyone else. Perez now on our horizon, and as we are able to see if we can overtake him, we're going to get DRS as they are enabled now, and we take the overtake button on and we absolutely glide past him. such a burst of speed through that straight with the DRS and everything, and we look to be able to go past him absolutely with flying colours as we now go onto this long straight. He's going to get DRS on this point, but we'll be interested to see if we can make any more of a gain, and we are. Even though he's got DRS, that is not a problem whatsoever. And as you can see on your screen now, lap 18 of 18, we're coming into the final corners. 5 seconds splits myself and Perez, and we are going to go over the checkered flag to make P1 in Austria. What a drive for Kalle Meyer, and congratulations indeed.
Well, we said at the time that it might have been too soon, but in hindsight, Motorsport really did make the right call. Meyer made the pit stop, changed to wet tyres ahead of everybody else. It was a real turning point in the race.
Yeah, you've got to get these decisions right, and not everyone did today. It's great to see Motorsport taking their chances like that. Wonderful race by Meyer.
If they want to improve on last season, they've got to try and do something different. Well, they did that today. They timed it well. Meyer, well, she continues to impress. A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Great race.
What do you mean, prove you wrong?
I was just trying to congratulate you, that's all.
Prove you wrong about what exactly?
I didn't mean anything by it. I was just saying well done.
By reminding me how little you actually believe in me?
Kalle.
You are a piece of work.
But it was a great race.
You said you'd keep him away from me.
I'll talk to him.
How is he getting involved on comms?
Well, he didn't ask, he just did it.
Yeah, he'll do whatever he wants until someone stops him.
I said I'll talk to him. That was a great result out there today. Let's forget about your father, okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Looks like he's found someone else to talk to anyway.
Well, a great win for Kalle Meyer, but not so great with the relationship she still has with her father. A bit of a snidey comment being made, and it goes down a complete storm. And it's not good whatsoever. There is a lot of bad things still happening in the paddock, and this is a kind of tough time for Motorsport as we look to see what happens now.
Hey, look, I've put measures in place to clamp down on who can access team radio from now on.
Thanks, I guess.
Turns out your father talked Mark into it. Said something like, you're not going to keep me off team radio on my own team.
Yeah, well, Mark can be a bit of a pushover at times.
Yeah. But listen, you'll need to learn to tolerate your father. He's going to be at this press thing later, you know.
Yeah? Well, whatever happened to you, I'll do everything in my power to keep him away from you.
Running a team means making compromises.
But this was your call, right? You decided this?
Listen, I have a lot of people I'm trying to keep happy here.
And some are more important than others, it seems.
I'm really trying here, Kalle. Look, I have to go. Let's talk later.
Mum.
Kalle, I just got your text. Prove him wrong. He's got a nerve.
He really gets to me, Mum. I know I shouldn't let him, but I can't bear it.
Him and his little games. Call him out on it, Kalle. Say something.
I did. I spoke to him.
And?
He said he didn't mean anything by it. He said I did well today.
Unbelievable.
What else do you expect? An apology? I don't know what to do.
You keep driving, Kalle. That's all you can do right now. The rest is just fluff.
If only it were that simple.
Oh, fair point. Don't envy you, darling. Not one bit. I'll leave you be.
Bye, Mum.
Hey,
Guess who's on his way in?
Davidoff?
He just called the office. Arrange him a lunch, he says. He treats the office staff like his personal assistants.
He shouldn't be a drain on our resources. Look, I'll talk to him.
Can you let the garage staff know he'll be wandering around down there? And make sure we have the usual room set up for him.
Yeah, no problem.
Roll out the red carpet. Davidoff's in town. Last I heard he was joining us in Singapore, but today he just shows up.
Don't let him get to you like this. We'll handle him.
Remind me why I went into business with him.
At least you have an F1 team.
For now.
Look, he wants us to succeed.
Doesn't always feel like it, Cass. I'll see you in the meeting.
Yeah.
Well, it seems never ending with what's happening with the drama that is unfolding. A lot to be said about the previous incident in the last race. As I say, the big talking point between Callie Mayer and her father Davidoff. This is huge in what might happen for Connor Sport. Obviously, it's going to be a big thing to see what happens between them two. If the funding's still going to be there. What's happening with Aiden Jackson. There's so many things to kind of look at. And so many things to kind of think of also. We're going to get a few questions faced at Casper Ankerman's way to be able to deal with in the press. A lot of support for Andreo, one of the team. He used to be the previous principal, and obviously he is the owner himself, I'm pretty sure, but obviously he has funding that can pull it.
Everything else looks fine. It's just about that rear wing.
I don't want to sacrifice any more downforce.
It's okay, it's your call. Now, let's check the weather again in an hour.
Oi, oi! Did you miss me? Hello, sis.
Hi, bro.
Jackson.
Devon.
How are you, Devon?
I am excited. Very excited to be involved again. Now, you pretend I'm not here. You carry on, please.
Involved? How?
Oh, you know, just a little bit of this, a little bit of...
Involved? How?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
And what does Andreo say to that?
He'll agree, Casper. It's fine.
Were they pleased to see you?
People are always pleased to see me.
And what was your new role?
I guess you might call me a liaison. Yeah, I love to liaise. Dad wanted me to talk to people, keep people's spirits up, give some friendly words of advice, that kind of thing. But it was tough. Yeah, Aiden still had that ego. Still thought he was too good for the team. Wouldn't listen to Casper's advice. That was a problem. And then Andreo, he was worried about the future of the team. He had Dad breathing down his neck. And Callie, well, let's just say Callie wasn't really looking for my advice. The whole thing was a mess. I mean, honestly, I'd only been gone 5 minutes.
The two Connor Sport teammates not exactly doing each other any favours this afternoon. For me, they're a little bit too close for comfort.
What is Aiden playing at? Tell him to back off.
Okay, Callie, he knows.
Clearly he doesn't know.
Yeah, same old stuff. Jackson really wants to make a move out there, but Mayer, no chance, not letting him pass.
Towards the Curva Grande we go, he's going for it. It's really close, it's too close. There goes Mayer's front wing. Oh, Aiden Jackson, what happened there? This now seems like a running theme at Connor Sport.
Yes, this race is critical for them. When are they going to just pull themselves together?
Okay, box please, Callie. Let's get that wing replaced.
This is a joke.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
Yeah, copy.
Well, if there wasn't enough drama, there is now, and one person to face it is Devon Butler. His father, Davidoff, has brought him in, and I don't even know what he's thinking. This is going to cause absolute riot between the drivers. Even more so, Aiden Jackson clipping Callie Mayer's wing, and she has forced a pit in this Italian Grand Prix, as we will have to get the front wing changed and the tyres also. This is massive. I don't know what's going on between them two, but there is definitely not a good relationship for them whatsoever. With Devon Butler also coming back, this is going to ruffle so many feathers, and you know he's always got something to say. For whatever reason he's been brought in, I don't know what it's going to do for the team. There is no positive outcome for this whatsoever, but it will be easy to see just the amount of chaos that there is going to be in the paddock and everything else. Our eyes are focused on this rest of the race though, as we look to try and kind of get back a bit of momentum after that front wing damage from Aiden Jackson. We passed Yuki Tsunoda, absolutely lovely there. DRS was enabled through that straight, as we are now 4.7 seconds behind Piastri, and then 6 seconds between our objective, that is Stroll. Our objective was to pit and replace your front wing, so we've done that, and then our bonus is to finish ahead of Jackson. This will be interesting to see if we can catch up with Jackson, and hopefully nothing more unfolds. Lap 9 of 13 now, not so long left, 4 laps left to be able to try and get something back from this Grand Prix, going past the back marker being Magnussen in the Haas. 2 second splits myself and Piastri now. We're on a purple sector 1 also, so we're definitely on for a good one, meaning we're getting some decent laps in before this end of the race, and hopefully we can get some more points also. This is a really long straight, and we're in a high amount of revs here, as we nearly hit 200 miles an hour going into that corner. As we look to see through this bit of track, this is such a free-flowing bit where you don't have to put yourself on the brakes whatsoever. You can just hit it hard on the accelerator and go for gold. 900ths of a second splits myself and Piastri, so we should be able to get a second gap between us so we can get some DRS going through the straight. There's a train in front of us, so he's going to get DRS also, but I do believe we've got the faster car as we look to see if we can get some slipstream. We got a lot fastest lap as well, 125.3, so we are definitely going fast around this circuit. Really good going from Callie Mayer, as there's 2 ahead of us now. Lance Stroll and Ocon colliding with the front wing, smashing against Lance Stroll. As we see now, our objective is right ahead of us. If we can overtake 10th place, we are doing a very, very good job. Really done easily past Stroll, so we're now taking a look at Esteban Ocon. Easy does it as we go through on the inside. Through the corners we go, and away we go. Also, Logan Sargent ahead of us now, an unlikely figure to be in 9th place. A slow Williams car as well, and as you can see, I just go to one side, foot on the accelerator, and bye-bye Logan Sargent. A little bit of a gap between us and 8th place though, 4.5 seconds splits us. We've only got 3 laps left also. This is going to be an interesting one to see how many places we can gain in such a short amount of time. Long straight here, and we're going to gain some speed going down the long straight also. A nice gap between myself and Sargent, so he's going to be getting no DRS when we do go on to the final straight of this lap, as we look to see if we can now go past Fernando Alonso. Gaining a lot of time, as you can see, another purple sector 1, so we're going even faster than previously, as we look to see now Alonso, and we are saying goodbye to Alonso also, and away we go to try and now get a 7th place against Lando Norris, our teammate in 6th. It's going to be a bonus to finish ahead of him, so it'll be interesting to see if we can get past him, and obviously see if there's no collisions being made also, thus being kept backed up by the tyres as we go late on into the brakes, and then we go wide also. 1.6 seconds, 1.7 seconds. I don't think we're going to get DRS on the straight to be able to gain enough time for myself and Lando Norris really deep into that corner, but we get a strong exit where we ourselves going wider, and as we see 1.3, yeah, so we're not going to get DRS on the particular straight, and we don't get a fastest lap either. Not too far off though, only 400ths of a second off our best lap in this race. Lap 12 of 13 now, and there's literally only 2 laps left before this race is finished. Lando Norris in front of us, 900ths of a second. I don't know how many places we're realistically going to make up. I don't think many, but we'll see if we can gain as many points as possible. As long as we can kind of get past Jackson maybe. 2.5 seconds as of the moment. We've got a lap and a bit to be able to do so. Purple sector 1, again, we're really fast into that sector, and as you can see in our horizon, it is Aiden Jackson, 1.4 seconds, so we have gained a lovely bit of time through that sector 1, especially with it being purple also, so you can see the amount of time we've gained. We're so quick through here and we've made so many overtakes on this particular straight. We're going to get DRS also. Jackson isn't, so he is left in the mud as we try and gain as much time possible. De Vries 5.2 seconds. Are we going to get a top 5 finish? That is the question. It'll be interesting to see if we can, and I hope we can also, in all honesty. It'll be a really good kind of finish to this Grand Prix with the circumstances that we originally faced at the start. No front wing, been colliding with our teammate and everything else. It is an interesting one. Leclerc has gone behind Hamilton now, but we have gained enough time on De Vries. We are literally maxing out this car. We go side by side with Leclerc, but we are able to eke out a move. And now third place is a kind of look at, but we are on lap 13 of 13, and I don't believe we're going to gain any more kind of space on Lewis Hamilton, as I think it will be too late. I think I've got the pace to do so. If there was an extra lap, maybe we would be getting into the top 3, but I don't think it's going to be. And we are going to be finishing this Grand Prix in P4 as we go over the line.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
So Mayer managed to pull it back in the end, but if this continues, Connor Sports are in real danger of sabotaging their own chances of a decent finish this season.
There is so much talent in that team, and yet they're their own worst enemy. The reason they're not making progress is each other. Ridiculous state of affairs.
And it's clear that Jackson continues to be the aggressor. Is it personal, Natalie?
Well, you know, it does seem that way from the outside looking in, but all I know is they just can't go on like this.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
Now, once again, another eventful race out there today for Connor Sport, Callie. Is the team sabotaging its own chance of a decent finish this season?
Absolutely not. We've already shown what we're capable of this season, and the car is feeling good out there. We're all focused on having as successful a season as we possibly can.
Everyone is talking about Devon's return to Connor Sport today, so is it good to have him back around again?
I mean, doesn't matter what I think. The truth is, Devon's still got a lot to offer the sport. It's right that he's still around, and I'm pleased that Connor Sport has been able to facilitate that.
Tell us, if you can, about this rumour circulating about a rift between you and your father, Davidoff.
There's a lot of big personalities at Connor Sport, and there are going to be differences of opinion. That's the case in every team, right? I have really strong views, and so does my father, but we both ultimately want Connor Sport to succeed.
Now, obviously, myself excluded, you've developed a little bit of a reputation for being short with the press. Tell me, honestly, do you regret that in any way?
No. When someone starts asking you questions about your personal life uninvited, it's not nice. I don't have to answer any questions I don't want to, and nor should anyone else.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Go on then, let's have it.
That's no way to answer the phone.
Say your piece, mother dearest.
Fine, if you want to be like that. I did say you need to be careful what you tell the media about your father, didn't I? That was the perfect opportunity today to smooth it all over, but no, you only reinforced what everyone's already saying about you.
That's just how I feel.
Oh. I mean, you've got a stubborn streak in you. I think it comes from your father. Definitely not mine. He was always so determined, unable to admit to his mistakes.
What's your point, Mum?
My point is that nobody likes your father. Sorry. Just be careful, Cal.
Yeah. Thanks, Mum.
I'll let you go, darling. Ciao.
Casper.
Hey, you handled the Davidoff situation really well today.
Yeah?
Yeah, making it about the big personalities rather than family issues. Saying it's no different for other teams, that was really smart.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been answering the same question my whole life, so I guess I know how to spin it.
Yeah. Maybe we should give you a job in PR.
I think I'll stick with driving the car for now.
Probably for the best. And well done for addressing the Davidoff stuff. I'm sorry you had to.
No big deal.
It is to me, Callie. So, thanks. Slacking off? Hey.
Ooh. Scared the life out of me, mate.
I didn't mean to. Picking up any tips?
I don't think they like the short strays here.
You didn't mind them, did you?
I love this track. Always do well here. Well, used to.
How are you doing, Devon?
Me? Golden, mate. Loving life.
Yeah, sure.
You know what it's like to leave all this behind, don't you?
It's the most difficult thing I've ever done.
Yeah, well, like that. But, I didn't choose this, Casper. I didn't.
I know.
You came back, right? How's it treating you?
Ups and downs?
How's our old teammate doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's happy here.
He still thinks he belongs in that top team, see? He's never let it go. That's the problem. You know, I could have a word with him. I mean, if you think that might help.
It's all a bit delicate.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I understand.
No, Devon, I mean it.
Yeah? Scout's on him, mate.
Well, a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Casper Ankerman and Devon Butler, but it ended a little bit sour, and it looks to see if Devon Butler is going to have a little chat with Aiden Jackson, and I can only think of one thing, and that is to go wrong. I'm going to agree with him to not upset the apple cart, but Jesus, yeah, I can't see any positive outcome from it whatsoever.
Andrea,
Did you read his email?
I glanced at it.
He's a sly old fox at that one. Thank you for finding a place for Devon, as if we had a choice, Casper. As if it was our decision.
Yeah, I know.
How's it going with Devon anyway?
Yeah, he's still struggling. But he does really care about the team, so, you know, maybe it'll work out.
Well, that's something at least.
Rather him than his father, right?
Rather neither of them, Casper. Anyway, I'll see you.
Yeah, see you.
Did Casper really want you to talk to Aiden?
I read between the lines. Look, Casper's good at lots of things, but I know people. Yeah, I know how to get in their heads. And I wanted to help Dad, help the team, so,
Leave me alone.
Listen, I'm just saying, mate, if you were such an incredible driver, you wouldn't be a constable, would you? I'm sorry. It's the truth. No offense.
Well, maybe I won't be here next season.
Oh, dude. You know what your problem is?
Yeah. You.
You think you're better than the team. I remember when Aiden Jackson was just happy to be behind the wheel of an F1 car. We all like that guy far better than this one.
You never liked me.
No. But Casper did. Once upon a time. Oh, you're different now. You think you're too good for the team. Your head's stuck in some imaginary big 3-seat in cloud cuckoo land, mate. No. You have got to drive the car you're in.
You're lecturing me about ego.
A subject I know well.
Oh, right. I get it. So you're allowed to be cocky, but I'm not. Is that it?
There's a difference.
How can there possibly be a difference?
This isn't you. This isn't you, mate.
Oh, get lost. Be true to myself. Drive the car I'm in. The wisdom of Devon Butler. Should I be living my best life too?
Just drive the car you're in, mate, yeah? Ciao.
Marina Bay and a tough, bumpy street circuit that will test these drivers to their absolute limit. So sit back and enjoy the action here at the Singapore Grand Prix. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Joe, Ocon, Stroll, Jackson, Mayer, De Vries, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Gasly, Bottas, Sargent, Hülkenberg, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Well, it's a beautiful night here at the Marina Bay Circuit, and as ever, a really enthralling Singapore Grand Prix ahead of us.
That's right, Crofty. And while there's not many surprises at the top of the standings right now, there's a lot to watch out for further down the pack.
One driver I'll be definitely keeping my eye on is Connor Sports' Aiden Jackson. He's been less than consistent so far this season.
Aiden, you know what you're doing here. Let's lock in and give it everything. Show us what you got.
Only bad things happen when Devon Butler and Aiden Jackson are even in the same vicinity of each other. Big arguments being made, and Aiden Jackson really getting into Devon Butler, but he doesn't seem fazed whatsoever. And if Aiden Jackson does well in this race, he'll probably think it's because of his advice, so to say. But we are starting this Singapore Grand Prix with 14th as of the moment, 13th, 12th. We are kind of trying to edge past Esteban Ocon. Our objective is to finish in the top 5. And the bonus finishing in the top 3, so high expectations for Aiden Jackson's race today as we look to see if we can get past Lance Stroll now. Massive train ahead of us. There's so many places that we can make if we get late onto the brakes, and so we do. Double to overtake past Charles Leclerc. Zhou in front of us also. We are doing a great job with that overtake, and away we go through the S's. And now we have got Guohan Zhou in front of us, and we have, I'm not too sure who's in front of him also, but Perez is making up the 5th place, which is our first objective. But we are right behind Guohan Zhou on this straight. We don't have DRS because it's too early into the race yet. as we look to see if we can overtake him, and yes we do. Really nice and easy and really clean at the same time, making up a load of places in such a short amount of time. Lando Norris in front of us now, and we are right on the back of him, also purple sector 1, so you can see the speed we're going. Double overtake, and we are colliding with Max Verstappen, and that was not the cleanest of overtakes whatsoever, and we might get a collision from the FIA. I'm surprised if we don't, and I don't think we are either. Have to check up on the vehicle condition to make sure it's okay, and we are. That doesn't phase us though, because we have got a fastest lap of a 1:48.5, so we are doing a mega job in this Connosport car. Lap 3 of 15 now, 7th in the GP, as we look to see if Oscar Piastri is able to kind of give us some space. Both got DRS through that straight, but we are seeming to be the fastest out of the two. A lovely bit of overtaking on this corner, and we seem to do it so well going through that chicane, as we now have our objective being Sergio Perez in front of us, and we are looking to see if we can even win this race, in all honesty, because we have made up so many places in such a short space of time. As I say, Sergio Perez in front of us, we're going to get DRS and so is he, but I think we have got the better exit, gaining us a little bit of advantage. He is closing us out close to the wall, and we do make contact with the wall also, having to give Sergio Perez a little bit of space, otherwise we would have collided. I've already collided with the wall, I don't want to collide with him, as we are tight to the wall once again, and he is not giving us any space, but we are faster on the exit, and through we go past Sergio Perez with Fernando Alonso in front of us now, 0.04 of a second. As you can see, our bonus objective in front of us, try to go late onto the brakes to be able to kind of get past Fernando Alonso, but it's not going to be the one, as we look to see if we can now get past him and maybe go on to our objective being Carlos Sainz. No DRS through the straight, and it seems to be we are struggling without it, as we look to go early on into the brakes, gaining a nice bit of exit through this. It's such a tight circuit in Singapore. It's a mega street circuit, and it is such an enjoyable one at that. I much prefer it as a street circuit, and it is doing me a good job at the moment, as we are in P4 past Fernando Alonso. Long straight here as we look to see if we can gain any time up to ourselves and Carlos Sainz. Unfortunately for myself, the recording footage seems to have corrupted when I actually overtook Sainz for whatever reason. You can see we're just in front of him 2.5 seconds, and now we're on the charge for George Russell and Lewis Hamilton's places. I'm not too sure if we're going to get them before the pit window though, as it is hard to be able to try and keep up with these two at the moment. Struggling a little bit with tyres, I'm not too sure why. I think they are come to its point where they're nearly the end. I was kind of keeping an eye on them, and they were getting hot really easily, but I was just pushing them so hard, and I thought it was the right time to have to pit. This was the right pit window also. I mean, this was suggested in my race strategy, so I thought I might as well go along with it, hoping for a decent pit stop, and it'll be interesting to see what lap times George Russell puts without anyone in front of him or behind him, and whether we can catch up to him after this pit stop. So as we go into the pits, we are seeing now if we can get an optimal pit stop. Yes we do, and a 2.4 second pit stop being guaranteed. Really quick pit stop, and away we go behind Lewis Hamilton, as we look to see now as we can get on the charge with these mediums, warm them up nicely, and we're going to be down the pack for the moment, but we will get back straight up there as soon as the laps commence, and obviously other people will kind of pit in the end and everything else. Slowly does it through that corner, just trying to get these tyres warmed up now. As I say, it's important to do so. We do not want to be crashing into the walls whatsoever, and that will be the worst thing possible for Connosport. We, I think, definitely had enough drama for the moment, as we look to have the charge on now against Lewis Hamilton. As we go round into the corner, we're right behind him. We're going to get some DRS. He hasn't got anyone in front of him, so we're going to get a lot of DRS through this straight. And away we go. We're going to the left, we're going to the right, we're late onto the brakes. He tries to defend it, but away we go past Lewis Hamilton, and now we have a bit of a clear road, and we are able to see if we can kind of get past George Russell, if he's going to be in the pits or if he's going to come out just ahead of us. Logan Sargent in 13th place. If we are able to catch up to him, I don't think there'll be any issue there with it being a Williams car. No disrespect, but they have definitely not got the power unit or anything to be able to compete with any sort of engine this year. Right on the horizon now, DRS on Logan Sargent. Away we go, lap 9 of 15. We do collide originally. Does put me off, and I do go late onto the brakes there, and I go really wide. I go onto the cam, but just kind of not being able to kind of control the car whatsoever. As you can see there, I nearly go into the wall. I go so slow coming out the exit, and I do check to see if my car is okay. And unfortunately, I do lose the place on Logan Sargent. It's not too bad because he hasn't got the pace and everything else, so we are able to kind of go straight past him. But yeah, a really weird kind of run of events where I go late onto the curb there, and then when coming up to the next corner, I'm not able to get the car stopped whatsoever. I bang into the wall again there, and it was just, yeah, it's just such a hard circuit to be able to be so precise. We are able now to see if we are able to get past, and we are, oh my god, so yeah, George Russell pitted but he's nowhere near anyone. Well, that's a bit strange. That is very, very strange. Bohan Zhou pitting, and yeah, we are past George Russell. That is amazing. As you can see him, 5th, 4 seconds. So yeah, that is very, very strange. So he must have pitted for the mediums, but being so slow, that is an odd one. We're looking to be even faster though, 2 purple sectors, and we are way from Hamilton, 6.8 going on to 7 seconds now, as we look to complete lap 11 of 15 going on to lap 12. And yeah, as I say, we are absolutely zooming past all this lot, and we look to see if we can get the first win of the Singapore Grand Prix for Aiden Jackson. As we look to go over the line, a fastest lap looks to be done, and a 1:46.2, brilliant lap from Aiden Jackson, pushing even with the tyres. Obviously the mediums last longer, but we've had a little bit of wear on them, but we are pushing them to the maximum and hoping to be able to kind of gain as much time and everything. I want the fastest lap, I want as many points as possible to be able to provide for Connor Sports. Lap 15 of 15, this is the last lap of the race as we look to complete some of the final corners, and we do smash the front wing, making some damage. I would normally pit under this circumstance, but we don't have to as we are literally near to the end of the race. The car swerving out of the corners as there has no kind of aerodynamic whatsoever, as we look to see if we can complete this race without a kind of any more damage to the car. We are a nice having a gap ahead, and we are able to go over the checkered line. The hand being raised in the air, and that is P1 for Aiden Jackson. What a race from the young man from Great Britain.
By some of the drivers out there today, Crofty, was nothing short of incredible.
Elbows out, especially from Aiden Jackson. Loved his race today. He finally delivered the sort of performance that we know that he's capable of. So whatever they're saying to him over at Connor Sports, he seems to be listening to. Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One.
Now, Aiden, you have had your ups and downs this season, but tell me, on the whole, are you pleased with your overall performance?
Yeah, I'm really happy with what we've achieved. You know, F1 gets more and more competitive every single day, so I've really given it all this season, and, you know, today I've been able to show a little bit more of what we're capable of.
Okay, I'm going to be cheeky, go straight for the jugular. If you had to choose a teammate between Callie and Devon, who would it be?
I'm getting into trouble whatever I say here, aren't I? Can I have Casper back as a teammate instead? I'll talk him out of retirement.
Now, Aiden, you have recently hinted that you're not entirely happy at Connor Sport. Tell me, is it true?
My happiness is neither here nor there right now. I've got a job to do this season, and I want to do it the best I can.
There's been wild speculation on whether or not Connor Sport can even be on the grid next season, so can you tell us more?
That seems like a question for the investors, but no one's funding Connor Sport as a charity. They're funding it as a business. And if a business isn't successful, then there's definitely an issue.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, Davidoff.
Aiden, quite the answer you gave today. Didn't have you pegged as a man of business.
Yeah, I didn't really think anything of it. Of course you need to make money.
Don't we all, Aiden?
Yeah, but Connor Sport must be profitable, right?
We're still running the projections for next season.
So it's not certain then?
Time will tell. You said it yourself, it's just business. Thanks, Aiden.
Well, just because Aiden Jackson's won the Singapore Grand Prix doesn't mean that life at Connosport is going to be any smoother, and it seems to be the funding still isn't going to be there if they're not able to maintain that 5th spot in the constructor standings or in the title. So it is going to be an interesting end, and as the next episode unfolds, it will be the finale. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more content just like this one, and don't forget to hit the notification button so you never miss a video like it. Cheers.